Let's get right into it. Number 10. Notice hidden patterns. Imagine walking down a busy street and suddenly getting this weird feeling that something's off. Most people would just keep walking, completely oblivious, but you notice everything. The way that guy across the street just changed his walking pace, how the usual chatter of the coffee shop suddenly got quieter, that car that's passed by 3 times in the last few minutes. Scientists have found that people who've been through tough times develop what they call enhanced threat detection. Think of it like having a built-in radar system that's always scanning for danger. Researchers actually tested this. They showed people pictures that flashed between normal and threatening faces really quickly. The ones who'd been through rough stuff spotted the dangerous faces way faster than everyone else. It's like their brains are running a constant background scan of their environment. They notice patterns that most people miss completely. But this ability has a downside. Your brain is basically running security cameras 24/7, and that takes a lot of energy. Imagine having an antivirus program that's constantly scanning. Sure, you're safer, but your system's always running hot. Scientists call it hypervigilance. Your brain refusing to ever let its guard down again. You're basically walking around with a mental security system that most people would need years of training to develop. Number 9. Doubt good news first. Imagine getting amazing news, but instead of jumping for joy, your first thought is, what could go wrong? Most people would call you a downer, but you might actually be more resilient than they are. Scientists call it defensive pessimism. Studies show that people who think this way actually perform better under pressure. They're basically playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. While others are daydreaming about success, these people are mapping out every possible disaster that could happen. Instead of getting paralyzed by all these negative thoughts, they use them as fuel. Athletes who use this strategy don't just imagine perfect performances. They imagine falling flat on their face, getting booed by the crowd, or their pants falling down mid-performance. By the time they actually compete, they've already faced their worst fears in their head. So when something actually does go wrong, they're not shocked. They're ready. In a world obsessed with good vibes only, these people are playing a different game. They're like mental preppers, stockpiling solutions for problems that haven't even happened yet. Number 8. Absorbing others' emotions. Imagine walking into a room and instantly feeling everyone's emotional baggage hit you like a wave. You're not just noticing that people are sad or happy, you're actually feeling it in your gut. It's like being an emotional sponge, soaking up all the feelings around you whether you want to or not. Now, you might think this makes you weak or oversensitive, but it's actually a sign that your brain is operating at a higher level than most people's. Your brain literally copies and mirrors the emotional states of others. But this superpower comes with a price. Imagine being a nurse who feels every patient's pain, every family's grief, every colleague's stress. And unlike physical weight, you can't just put this down when you get tired. The emotions stick to you like emotional tar, building up layer after layer. It's why you might feel exhausted after social events. Even if you're just sitting and talking, your brain is basically running an emotional marathon while everyone else is taking a casual stroll. But this emotional absorption is actually a sign of superior mental strength. The fact that you can handle this constant emotional input without breaking down is like being an emotional Navy SEAL. Number 7. Remember mistakes more. Imagine having a built-in error detector in your brain that's always running in the background, like a really annoying friend who never lets you forget that embarrassing thing you did at a party. But this might actually be a sign that you're mentally stronger than most people. Deep in your brain, there's this thing called the anterior cingulate cortex. Think of it as your brain's quality control department. When you mess up, this part of your brain lights up like a Christmas tree. Now, most people try to forget their mistakes as quickly as possible, but if you're the type who remembers every cringe-worthy moment in vivid detail, your brain is actually doing you a favor. It's like having a personal coach who keeps a detailed record of every time you've fallen on your face, not to make you feel bad, but to make sure you don't faceplant the same way twice. Scientists found that people with stronger minds tend to remember their failures more clearly than others. It's not because they're pessimistic or beating themselves up. Their brains are just better at learning from mistakes. While everyone else is busy posting their highlight reels on social media, your brain is busy running a blooper reel on repeat. Number 6. Uncomfortable in groups. So you're that person who gets invited to parties and immediately starts planning your escape route. While everyone else is doing group selfies, you're calculating the exact time you need to fake a family emergency. That social awkwardness might actually be your superpower in disguise. Science shows that people who feel uncomfortable in groups often have higher mental resilience. While others are discussing what they had for lunch, your mind is probably solving quantum physics problems. Some of history's greatest minds were basically professional hermits. Einstein didn't discover relativity at a pool party. Newton didn't figure out gravity while doing karaoke with friends. These guys were probably sitting alone, thinking they'd rather watch paint dry than join that group over there. And that's exactly when their best ideas hit them. When you're alone, your brain isn't wasting energy trying to figure out if your laugh sounds weird. Instead, it's free to focus on actually important stuff, like solving problems, or creating something new, or figuring out the perfect excuse to leave early without offending anyone. Number 5. Question everything. You know that voice in your head that won't shut up, the one that's always asking, "But why?" about everything. Turns out that's actually a superpower. Most people just accept things at face value and move on with their day. But your brain is like a detective that never sleeps. You're constantly picking apart your own thoughts, analyzing them, questioning if there might be a better way. Scientists call this metacognition, thinking about thinking. But this seemingly torturous trait is actually a sign of serious mental strength. While everyone else is running on autopilot, your brain is building neural highways of understanding. Most people's minds are like a house with locked rooms. Yours has glass walls and security cameras in every corner. Nothing gets past your internal surveillance system. And sure, sometimes it feels exhausting being your own thought police, but this constant questioning acts like emotional armor. When life throws curveballs, you've already played out every scenario in your head. You've questioned every angle, considered every outcome. It's like having a mental emergency kit ready for any disaster. Your brain isn't broken. It's just running a more sophisticated operating system than most. That constant questioning isn't weakness. It's your mind's way of doing quality control. Number 4. Exhausted by decisions. You know how some people just pick whatever's on the menu in 2 seconds flat? Meanwhile, you're there analyzing every ingredient like you're defusing a bomb. Your brain is probably stronger than most. This is because mentally tough people consider way more variables in every decision. But this superpower comes with a price. Your brain gets so tired from all this thinking that by the end of the day, you can't even decide what socks to wear. Scientists actually tested this with judges. Early in the day, these judges were like Oprah. You get parole. You get parole. Everyone gets parole. But by afternoon, they're basically just stamping denied without even looking up. Same cases, different times of day, completely different outcomes, just because their brains were fried from making decisions all day. It's like your brain is a smartphone battery. Every decision drains it a little more. By evening, you're at 1%, and your brain's just like, pizza or starve. Those are your only options now. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.